recording. Well, and if you don't want to come on camera, that's fine. And if you want, Ronald and Petrina will let you know how they want you to proceed, whether they take questions as they go along or if they want you to put them in, ask them after. I'm going to press record. So welcome. We are 360 Lifestyle Support Network. We educate and inspire individuals to change their lifestyle to create a better version of themselves. We do this through our peer support led WhatsApp group, and also we host sessions every Sunday at 12 o'clock where we have different speakers who come in to talk about their chosen topics. So this week we have, like we said, we have Petrina and Ronald, and we'll hand it over to you to say, introduce yourselves and take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, Francine, and thank you, Leon, for hosting us on this platform of yours. And welcome, everyone. I can see some familiar faces, including my uncle from Copenhagen. Hi, Uncle Peter and Cassandra. We've got our guests, Mansoor and Mark, Joseph as well. Inta
from Lidl.
yeah, and Elisa, my friend as well, who just invited shortly. And welcome, everyone. Happy Father's Day to those of you who are celebrating. Let me just share my screen and we will start. Okay, so that's us here. Please do continue to share this link as well so that others can actually benefit from what we're about to share as well. Well, practical ways to treat and prevent diabetes naturally. Okay. Right. So just to let you know that the following information, obviously, it's going to be not individual sharing. It's information for general purposes. So if you do have any health concerns, please do consult your healthcare professional. Alternatively, you can actually book a free consultation call with us, and the link is below, calendly.com/wellness iridology. And who is this information for? It's people like yourselves who have attended, open-minded people willing to listen and try new things, those seeking natural solutions to their health concerns, those who are willing to put some effort into getting healthier, because obviously we can share, however, we can't actually make you implement those solutions. You have to actually make the effort yourself as well. And those who are willing to take responsibility for their own health. Who is this not for? Closed-minded people, those who know everything and not willing to try new things, not open-minded. Those who want quick solutions and do not want to they want to actually carry on with your same lifestyle. Those who are happy to continue relying on chemical medications. We're not totally against chemical medications. The example we normally use is if you are, say, in an accident and you broke your arm and you're in severe pain, we would recommend you take the painkillers. However, in the longer term, we would teach you how to actually heal your body naturally. And those who say it's too late to get better and would like to continue suffering. Okay. So who are we? We're Ronald and Petrina. Together, we have over 5 decades of helping others achieve the natural wellness results they have been searching for. And just to share some results, last year in December 2021, we were winners of an award, the Implementor of the Year. And I was also the winner of the Female Entrepreneur of the Year. Now, why am I sharing this with you? It's not to impress you, but to impress upon you that although we are experts in our field, wellness, we are also constantly open to learning and implementing. And what better way to actually help you, because we've actually proven that we can implement as well. So I hope that's encouraged you. Who do we work with? We typically work with business owners between the ages of 45 and 55 who are would like to strengthen their immune system, who are struggling from brain fog so that they can be more productive, be more profitable, and most importantly, feel fantastic every day. However, as I said, typically, so if you're not a business owner, if you're not in this category, we can also help you.
Yeah.
Your mind is like a parachute. It only works if it's open. So bear that in mind. In order to get a different result, you need to try something else. And this is what we're going to be sharing with you. Now, what is diabetes? Over to you, Ronald.
Okay, diabetes is a long-lasting chronic health condition that affects how your body turns food into energy. So look at the word chronic, okay, chronic. Now, in the charts that we've worked on, you have different levels of disease, okay? So when you're young and you're still reasonably healthy, but you start to get, say, colds or flu, that's called the acute level of disease, okay? Now, if you don't take care of your level, getting rid of that level and go back to health, acute stage becomes the next step, which is subacute. So in other words, it's a deeper disease. And the next level after that, if you don't take care of your body and to reverse the back to health, at that level, you go to what I call the chronic stage, okay? Now, the chronic stage comes from the Greek word chronos, like chronometer, which means time. Now, when you've got a chronic health condition, it means that you've been suffering from that disease for about 5 years or more. Now, remarkably and really, really amazingly, 80% of the US population suffers from chronic health condition. 80%, because of the way they behave themselves, their food, their anxiety, and are constantly at war. So that's where diabetes fits in. And being chronic is 5 years. Now, most of the food, carbohydrates you eat, is broken down into sugar, glucose, and released into your bloodstream, okay? So when your blood sugar goes up, it signals your pancreas, which we're going to show you where it is in a minute, to release insulin. Now, what is the main cause of diabetes, okay? Now, the amount of sugar in the blood is controlled by a hormone called insulin, which is produced by the pancreas, which is a gland behind the stomach, right? Now, let me be very clear here. Now, you'll notice, if you look at the diagram, if you look on the left side of the diagram is the liver, right? Now, the liver is actually situated on the right side of your body, okay? And the stomach is on the left side of your body. Now, watch carefully. A lot of people point to the belly button or below, and they say, that's my stomach, and it's because it's my belly. And that comes from the grandmothers who used to tap you on the belly and say, I'll tap your tummy. So that's created a position where people think that the stomach or their tummy is actually below. They point to the colon, the transverse colon. It's not. The stomach is way up the top on your left side, okay? And behind your stomach sits the pancreas. As you can, now in that picture, the pancreas is diagrammed to show at the front of the stomach, but in actual fact, the pancreas is behind the stomach. You get it? And that pancreas then combines with the liver to produce hormones and bile to break down sugar in the duodenum, which is the start of the intestines. Okay, that's how it works. All right. Now, when food is digested and enters your bloodstream, insulin moves glucose out of the blood and into cells where it is broken down to produce energy. Okay. Now, type 1 diabetes occurs when your immune system, the body's system for fighting infection, attacks and destroys the insulin-producing beta cells of the pancreas. Now, that is a severe type of diabetes. I know someone who was born type 1 diabetes. Who was a doctor from Perth, and I was able to guide him. He was getting between 6 to 8 needles a day, right? Type 1. He was born with type 1 diabetes, right from the way he was born, right? And I was able to guide him with the right products where he only needed 1 shot of insulin per day, 1. He can now run marathons. So It wasn't reversed 100%, but it certainly was under control. Now, type 2 diabetes has several causes, including genetics, listen to what, including genetics and lifestyle. Now, you can have a genetic tendency to have diabetes if your grandparents, your mum and dad, and your great-great-grandparents have had diabetes in their family. And you can have a weakness in that area and you can end up with type 2 diabetes. But it's a lifestyle you conduct that really has a big play in it. So insulin resistance occurs when your body does not use insulin as well as it should. Okay, now, so if you look at this diagram, your main symptoms, and watch for these, because take a great note of what you're doing there, because these, if you listen to these symptoms and you watch the symptoms, now don't imagine the symptoms. Look at the positioner. Now, for example, in the central part of the brain, right, you have polydipsia, polyphagia, lethargy, and stupor. And if you take the word lethargy out of that, it means that you feel fatigued. You feel unusually fatigued. You're not just tired after a long day's work. You are fatigued all the time. That's your symptom. Also, you can have weight loss, which is pretty rapid. You don't use like 1 kilo a week or 1 kilo a month. You lose weight all the time. Now, respiratory, right, is your ventilation, which is your lungs, right, can be problematic, and you don't breathe well. You can end up with a fever. Okay. Now, another good one is your eyes. You'll be quite young or quite middle age or old, and all of a sudden you'll be seeing okay, and all of a sudden you'll have a blurred vision. It won't be just once. You'll have regular blurred vision. If you have blurred vision, you need to get checked out for diabetes. That's one of the main symptoms, blurred vision. And like I said, you can be tired, and you can have a 12-hour day working somewhere, and you can end up with blurred vision once. But if you have constant blood vision on a regular basis, get it checked out. Now, in your breath, if I'm sure the women that have used nail polish understand acetone, the smell of it. Your breath will smell of acetone, like the same smell. Gastric-wise, you'll have nausea, you'll have vomiting, you'll have abdominal pain. And in your urinary tract, you'll also have some excess, what they call polypsia and glycosuria, which is basically, irregular urinary. In other words, you'll be pushing out urine too often. You'll be waking up during the night 2 or 3 times, and that's part of your symptoms of diabetes. But the main one I will focus on is lethargy, weight loss, blurred vision. They're the ones that are more common, more problematic with diabetes. Okay, all right. Now, the consequences. You need to hear this. The consequences of not preventing or managing diabetes are retinopathy, which is eye problems. Right, that is one of the big problems. Eye problems. Diabetes is one of the main causes of vision difficulties. The other one is food problems, poor circulation, and that can lead to amputations. It is, again, diabetes, one of the leading causes leading to amputations. Heart attack and stroke caused by blood vessels damage. Kidney problems, which is called nephropathy. Nerve damage, which is neuropathy. And finally, gum disease and mouth problems. If you have any of these problems, get it checked out. Right, get it checked out, and then once you confirm you've got diabetes, you come to us and you let us help you. So the human body is an amazing set of organs. There's what we've observed over 60 years is basically 3 things you need to take care of. You need to understand your genetics. You need to understand the environment you're in. And then you need to understand the actions you take. Now, genetics can play a fairly significant part in you getting diabetes at a certain point in your life. It can be, like I said earlier, it can be from your grandparents, your great-grandparents, it can be from your dad, your mom. They've had diabetes throughout the history of your family, and that can play a significant part in you getting diabetes, right? Now, but the environment you're in also can play a big part. For example, we've had people that come, they live in London, they live in a swish house, very expensive, 2 or 3 million pounds, but they're every day trucks, cars, and planes fly over them, and the environment is full of pollution, right? I'd rather be living further out in the country in a modest house, but my environment is clean, okay? We are very, very blessed here where we live. We've got a 68 hectares park, right? And I found out from a lot of digging that that park was formed and no sprays have ever taken place. They've never sprayed it. So the environment here is really good. But once you get into London, your environment changes. And you will know this. If you have a white shirt and you go into London and it's clean, perfectly clean, perfectly white, that night when you're back on the tube, you pull the shirt out, you'll see there'll be a brown ring around your neck. That is the pollution your lungs have taken in. Right? That's the environment you've been in. Right? So then the third one, very, very important, is the actions you take, not somebody else, you take. So you get the right advice and you take the actions every single day, and that's how you help yourself with diabetes. Okay? Now, the following are some of the practical ways to treat and prevent diabetes naturally. Okay? Now, Iridology and Sclerology. Now, I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes on that. I became involved with Iridology in 1976. I'll repeat that, 1976, right? And I was 30 years old, and I'd already clocked up 16 years in nutrition. I started nutrition studies, serious, at the age of 14. I was one of those gifted kids that saw the light, right? And I was able to understand the value of food to my grandfather, who was from my mum's side, who came from French stock, and he showed me the value of eating properly and organically. 14 years old. I was aware of it earlier, but 14, I got serious. So from 14 to 30, I did 16 years in understanding nutrition at a very high level. And then, as fate would have it, in 1976, I made a top chiropractor in Adelaide. And during the consultation and before the consultation, he actually looked in my eyes. And I was like intrigued. I was 30, I was intelligent, I was sharp. And I thought, what's going on here? He's a back doctor, he should be manipulating my back. And he actually looked in my eyes before he palpated my back and fixed my back. And what you will find, if you look at this chart in front of you there, if you look at the chart at 12 o'clock at the top, and if you look at 3 o'clock, and then you look at 4 o'clock, you'll see a spine. See the spine there? Your spine starts here. Here it is. That's the cervical. You got cervical, you got thoracic, and you got lumbar. So that's what was the chiropractor was looking at. In other words, the right of the right eye was giving him information about the state of my spine. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar. In the left eye, it's on the other side. Okay, it's at 8 o'clock. Okay, so now this chart, when I first saw it, was black and white. There's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tests done by top eminent people, including me, to improve the actual chart and color it in to give you even more potent information on how you can help people and you can help yourself, right? So the pancreas is located at about 20 to 8, like 740 in the right eye, and also on the other side at 4 o'clock, okay? And you can see that in the left eye as well. So the pancreas is indicated in a particular markings in the right eye at about 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock. You can actually see what I call a chronic issue with the pancreas, and then you can see the darkening coloring, and that can indicate that you've got diabetes. Then you get tested. We teach you get tested. As you can see, that red color you see there on the left-hand side at 9 o'clock, that is where your heart is, okay? And the red color, and so on and so on. So now also, if you look between, say, 11 and say 1 o'clock, you'll see 2 black streaks there and there. and that is your right brain. Now, the right brain is imagination. That's where you see where your imagination is vivid or not. And the left eye, same spot, 11 to 1 is your logic. The left brain is logic. The right brain is imagination. And on the right side of the photo that you're looking at now, you'll see me, that's me there, looking through a camera, about to take a photo of somebody's eyes. And we're the only people in the world who are so advanced, we take 6 to 8 photos of each eye. 6 to 8, very detailed, very comprehensive. And basically we take the straight shot, looking left, looking right, looking up, looking down, and 3 more shots to guarantee vividness of the eyes. And then that gives us the ability to see what is your problem. We can see the diabetes markers. We can see the liver markers. We can see the way your brain's working or not working. We can see if you've got shoulder pain, whether you've got kidney issues. It is incredibly powerful. And I wrote a little booklet during lockdown about what your eyes can reveal about your health. It is a very, if you've got diabetes or you know someone's got diabetes, download that link off our website, which is
on the slide, https
yep
://
yes
bit.ly/Iridology guide.
yeah for whether you got diabetes or not, or you know someone who's got diabetes, tell them about the guide and that will help them tremendously. And once they've read the guide, they can always call us and we can discuss further. Now that's me there. As you can see, the hair is grey, but there's plenty of hair. It's not bald, right? And iridology and sclerology is used to find out the root cause of your symptom. Now, iridology is the actual study and delivery of understanding the actual symptoms of the iris, which is the colored part of the eye. Iris, I found out a long time ago, iris is an Egyptian word meaning rainbow. Right? That's where the word iridology comes. It's not iridology. It's not iris, it's iris. Iris is the colored part of your eye. And that can be brown, blue, hazel, black, and a mixture of other symptoms and other colors of it. Now you can see there, you'll notice my finger is on, my right index finger is ready to hit the shutter. And if you look above it, you'll see this cable, this gray cable. Now, this is a really, really interesting camera. We were so blessed that we met the guy who designed that. And as Petrina is showing, that gray cable is coming through. There's 3 cables coming through. So at the top where my index finger is, that's the flash. So when I take the picture, the flash goes through that fiber optics and it highlights, and you can see the black torch, which is non-invasive. That's one there. And that lights up the eye really well. And we can then take photograph of the eyes. You'll notice my technique. You notice the patient has got the left hand covering the left eye. What that does is unique. What that does, it covers the possibility that you don't have that. When that is done, your face is then static at that point, and that stops you from losing your peripheral vision, okay? What it does, you cover it, and then your eye, your right eye, is then focused on looking at the camera, okay, at this lens of the camera, and then we take the photos, okay? When we finish the left eye, you move your left hand, you take that down, and you use the right hand, and you cover your right eye. We take the left eye photos. You'll also notice we're very hygienic. If you notice where my watch is and where the light's showing, you'll notice a blue glove. Now, that blue glove is, we use a brand new glove with every person. We do not use it again. That's a surgical type glove, right? That's the thing that's used in hospitals, very high quality. And that is designed to prevent any infection from possibly dirt on the fingers, which I scrub my fingers before I start, but I still cover it. And then the idea is that I'll use this glove to not touch the inside of the eye. I'll repeat that. I do not touch the inside. I just lift the lid. So the patient helps me by moving the lid with their finger below, I use that to lift the lid at the top or the bottom, and then I can then see the whole eye. In other words, if you look carefully at most people, when they're looking at you, their right eyelid and their bottom lid, right eyelid and bottom lid, say, is actually stopping the iris from being shown in a full circle. By us working together, patient and me, by opening up the eyelids, we can see the entire iris, hence we take the photos. Very interesting work, isn't it? Okay.
And then also sclerology.
Yes.
Explain that, Ronald.
Yes, very good point. Sclerology is a science that's not as well understood as iridology, but is nevertheless very, very important. I came across it in my studies of iridology, and what sclerology is that imagine your face, you'll see your eyes, okay? The first thing you'll notice is the color of the iris, which that's the one that is the most outstanding. The color, in other words, brown-eyed, blue-eyed, and so on. Get it? Okay, so where does that sit? That the iris sits in the middle of the eye, and it sits into the sclera, S-C-L-E-R-A. The sclera is the whites of the eyes. Now, ironically, it is supposed to be white. Sclera means white, and your iris sits in it. But a lot of people, when they visit us, they've got red eyes, and they've got very dark brown eyes, and they've got very dark sclera as well. That means that they're not healthy. The sclera is meant to be really, really white, like, in other words, clean. Often when we take the camera shots and we understand sclerology, we can see the capillaries are blown. They're blown like a tomato will be smashed in your face, right? Those capillaries are inflamed. That means you lack vitamin C. And we can see varying degrees of inflammation, and that can be rectified by the right amounts of vitamin C and certain foods that you eat, right? So we combine both sciences, iridology and sclerology, to find out up to about 80 problems in your body. Now, I must put something to you at this point. There will be, if you go to the Google, if you go to many of these sites, you will find there will be a lot of rubbish written about iridology is a fraud, sclerology is a fraud, and so on and so on. These people are scammers. They are the opposition, right? They often come from a drug-related background where they want to torpedo us because we're doing the right thing. So they create all these websites where they give out all kinds of rubbish, absolute unknown. Now, I will give you one fact alone. Why I'm saying is actually the truth. My background, you understand, my background is engineering, like my dad and my granddad. Engineers, we think things through. We don't just accept, we check out things. So along my travels, I found out something extraordinary. And that's why I believe in iridology and sclerology. And that is that every single day, and I'll repeat that, every single day, 28,000 signals comes from your spinal column, right, which is your cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. 28,000 signals comes in, goes through to the optic nerve, and marks your eyes with the markings it requires. That's where us as iridologists and sclerologists, we can then discover, because of these 28,000 signals, we can then discover what's happening inside your body, right? And remarkably, we've done aftercare work, and we've did comparison of the eyes when they've been to see us and afterwards, and the eye can change certain markings where you can see the toxicity has been removed, okay? Now, if you look carefully at this new diagram, as I said there, 28,000 signals travels from your entire body every day via the spinal column, and the optic nerve, hence the ability for iridology and sclerology to assess markings in the iris and the sclera. Now, if you look carefully there at that eye, that blue part is called the iris. The middle part is called the pupil. Now, why do we show that? Is because the pupil has a very instinctive, where you press certain parts of the body, you'll see the pupil will dilate or contract, okay? And the pupil is usually dark, but it will have indicators as well. Okay, now if you look at the diagram, you'll see in the back where the optic nerve feeds in, right, and it goes around the eyes. And that optic nerve is designed to, excuse me, the optic nerve is designed to go through right through the eyes. You can see the gray color, and that feeds the eye with the nerves of the optic area. Okay, right. Now in this one, that's one of our teaching eyes, but this actual eye, you can see some amazing information. Now, just to be fairly sharp about it, but quick, without wasting your time, you'll notice there's a diagram that says pupil. That's the center bar where you see the 4 white dots. That is the camera, or that's all it is. That's the camera shots of the eyes being photographed. That doesn't hurt the eyes, but that's an indicator. That is a bullseye. That's a perfect shot. That's what we endeavor to get at every time we look at, we take a camera shot. Four highlights like that. It's non-invasive, doesn't hurt the eye. It's designed by optician as well, who's also a camera specialist, and that's why it shows that camera. So those 4 things are indicative that you can get a very vivid picture. Now, if you look at the next to the pupil, what do you see? You see this brown ring, don't you? Very, very interesting, the brown ring. Now, that eye, initially probably as babies, would have been hazel or even blue. In other words, from the pupil, excuse me, from the pupil right to the edge of the eye, it should be blue or green or hazel. I was in nuts before. So anyway, that's supposed to be blue or greenish or hazel. Okay, but what do you see instead? You see a very dark brown ring, as much about 1/3 of the iris. That in this person, in this indicator, that means that the digestive system is very toxic. I'll repeat that. That brown color you see there in the middle of the eye, near the pupil, nearest to the pupil, that is an indication of toxic issues in the colon and the intestine and the duodenum and the liver and so on, right? Also, you'll see where it says iris colored part of the eye reading rainbow, you'll see like a brown streak, like what Petrina is pointing out now. That is your liver area. When you see that brown streak leading from the brown next to the pupil, that is an indicator that the liver is toxic. It's not severely toxic in this case, but it has got some toxicity and so on and so on. Right? So now also what's interesting, if you look at 12 o'clock, you'll see a quite a large sharp brown ring around the pupil, and you'll see a couple of, see that? You see that there? That one there? And next one next to it, on this side like that. Now these are what are called channels, and it's pointing to the brain. Guess what that is? Very interesting. When that indicates your transverse colon is toxic, and that streak is the toxicity is traveling to your brain, right? Now, that's an indicator for us as practitioners to get you to detoxify your colon, detoxify your intestine, and that mark will disappear. And then your brain will clear. I'll repeat that. Your brain will clear, become vivid again. And that's a big help with dementia and Alzheimer's, okay? Now this is the equipment we use. It's very expensive, very modern. Now a lot of so-called iridologists use a torch, or they use a like magnifying glass. I do use that, but I'll tell you what for purpose. I do use it to have a look first, a preliminary look, before I actually take the photograph. Now the reason why I use a magnifying glass, which is magnifies, the magnifier I have is designed to expand the eyes 10 times. In other words, I can look at the eye and I can see 10 times the size of the iris. Now, what that does, I've done that for years. What that does, it enables me to look at possible markings that maybe at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the eye. I then memorize that. I then go to the camera and I take the photo. And I focus on the areas of concern which I've picked up with my 10 times magnifying glass. For example, here you can see where the arrow is pointing. That is the edge of the pupil. You'll see a very dark brown mark. We've identified that as a sugar mark. In other words, that eye there is indicating too much sugar, excess sugar in the blood. So then we then say, you need to get tested for diabetes. And then once you find out, don't get on the drugs, come back to see us and we'll teach you what to do. Now, one more thing. If you look at that photo, you'll see a very, very interesting phenomenon. If you look below the arrow, you'll see all these capillaries here. Can you see the capillaries? Now, those capillaries are inflamed. Those capillaries are meant to be in the eye. They're meant to be there, but they're meant to be recessed behind the sclera. But when they come to the surface like that, it means very, very heavy level of lack of vitamin C. And when we give people vitamin C, those markings, those capillaries retreat back to where they belong, and the actual sclera becomes white again. It takes a few months, but it works. Now, in the camera, you'll notice it fits on the top of the stand there, and that's where we take the photos from. Now, this here is a short testimony from one of our guests and customers from Nigeria. Have a listen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yinka Williams. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm visiting Petrina and Ronald. I visit almost every 6 months to 1 year, and I really love coming around them because I learned so much about myself and lots of things I can do to improve my lifestyle, my the quality of my life, and I've really gained a tremendous amount of knowledge from them. I've used Fiber G for almost 2 years now, and I'm almost addicted to it. I always call Petrina up and say, you know what, post some to a friend of mine who is coming, and that really helps with my digestive system. I've taken a lot of vitamins and minerals on their recommendation, and trust me, in spite of all the stresses I've gone through in life, I've been through a lot, I would say that all these simple things that I've added to my life have helped my lifestyle and the quality of my life a lot. Thanks a lot, Petrina. You are my fairy godmother. I call you in the middle of the night and you respond. Thanks a lot to Ronald. And I recommend that everybody should try and get these checkups from them. Iridology is a great thing. Take care.
Thank you, Yinka.
Yes.
So as we said, you can book your free consultation with us. The link is calendly.com/wellness iridology.
Yinka is a very, very smart person. She's actually an architect, and she builds building in Nigeria. So she was recommended by one of her friends in England, and she came and saw us, and we've been friends ever since as well. Okay. So
just to remind you that
we do not catch diseases. We create them by breaking down the natural defenses according to the way we eat, drink, think, and live. Look at those 4 things: the way we eat, the way we drink, the way we think, and the way we live. Now, Hippocrates was the father of modern medicine. Look what he said. That's a fact. Let food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. That is far cry from today's medicine. That's not what they do. True or yes or no? They hardly ever mention foods to take, ever, well, because they're so busy being busy, okay? Okay, let me show you next step. So we pick up. Now, food and drinks intake. Disease, look at the word, dis-ease. In other words, you're not at ease. That's what dis-ease means. Cannot be cured in anyone who practices degenerative lifestyle habits. For example, if you're eating pizzas, fried foods, fizzy drinks, and so on, or think the wrong thing, there's no specific cause that produces any one specific disease, nor is there any one treatment that will correct any one disease. It must be a series of different treatments, right? And we are very open to understanding the combination of correspondence between us, chiropractors, doctors who are smart, and they will then work together to correct a disease. Okay, we need to be humble. We need to know our place where we are, but we can play a very specific part of the cog and the treatment, the engine that makes you feel better.
So if you look in this example, in this photo, the reason why I chose this is, you know, we all give thanks for our food. We're grateful. We practice gratitude.
Yes.
However, if you give thanks for the wrong food, then it's not going to support your body. So for example, like Ronald said, if you continue eating like white rice, you know, biscuits, processed foods, highly processed foods, and you give thanks, it's not going to bless the food.
Yeah, yeah.
So part of the
Yeah.
part of the food and drink is also to keep hydrated, and Ronald can carry on.
Okay, if you look carefully on the left side of the screen, you'll see a sign saying Nalgene, and I believe that that particular bottle was designed with NASA in mind, National Aeronautics Space Association. Now, Nalgene is the preferred bottle we use. Now, do not use, and I'll say that very clearly, do not use ordinary bottles, like for example, reuse water bottles, reuse mineral water bottles, reuse whatever bottle, because they are made of very, very cheap plastic, but basically made from diesel. And I'll repeat that, plastic like that sort of, the bottle I described, which is like recycled water bottles, recycled fizzy drinks bottle. They are made with very thin plastic, which comes from diesel. And of course, as time goes on, as reused far too often, the diesel ends up in your drink, and then you end up being poisoned by diesel. Now, what we recommend is that if you're going to store water or drinks or orange juice or whatever, use the brand called Nalgene. Okay. Now you can get that on
Amazon
or any one of the good channels, and that's where you can store your cloudy apple juice, your dark grape juice, your coconut water, or your alkaline water. Now, look at the amounts we recommend. This is for an adult, right? 2.5 to 3 liters of liquids consisting of 80% alkaline water and 20% unsweetened fruit juice, not from concentrate. Don't buy fruit juice from concentrate. It's been recalibrated, it's been dried up, and then transported. They add tap water to it, and that's why we said not from concentrate. Buy the fruit juice that says clearly not from concentrate. That means that you're getting the fresh juice fresh. Now, our preferred juice is cloudy apple juice, dark grape juice, coconut water. Okay. Now, abstain from sugary, fizzy drinks, even the sugar-free varieties, as these contain harmful sweeteners. They'll put sucralose, they'll put saccharin. These they taste sweet, but they're harmful sweeteners. So be very careful. Read carefully the label. Even some of the oat water or oat milk or whatever, you look carefully on the bottom, it'll say sweetener. Usually that's saccharin or something along that line, right? Make sure your coconut water is 100% or 99% coconut water. 1% of, say, fructose is fine. Okay, that's how you do it. Now, over the years, right, we've done some massive experiments on what works. Right now, we have found this. A lot of people are not aware of this incredible vegetable. It looks ugly. It looks like a mouse tail with warts all over it. Now you'll see something extraordinary. You'll see the middle picture where it is like a light green color, like that. You see. Now don't buy that one, because that means that it's probably 3 or 4 days old. You buy the ones that has got the dark green and the warts are intact. If you see holes in there, that means it's been hurt. It's been broken into. Now that is called, the Indians call it Corella or bitter gourd or bitter melon, right? We have fixed that we've reversed diabetes very, very strongly by using this bitter gourd alone, okay? Now, I'll warn you, it's incredibly bitter, right? And a lot of people can't stand the bitterness, so they give up. Let me tell you something. 5 minutes of bitterness on your tongue is 95 minutes to 100 minutes of pleasure afterwards, because your liver will activate better, your pancreas will activate better, right? And will make you feel better. So if people have got diabetes, we recommend 2 of those Corellas every day, as you can see sliced up, and all that. Now you'll see the different colors. That one on the right there is dark green. You can also slice it like on the left picture, but don't buy the ones that have got the light green color, because they usually, that means that the chlorophyll's gone down. You've got to pick the ones that are dark green. So go to the right shop that's got turnover of it, and you buy that one. Now, so this is the recipe. You put the water in a steamer pot and bring to boil, a steamer pot, right? While waiting for the water to boil, you wash thoroughly with a brush and biodegradable detergent like Veggie Wash. Cut into slices or lengthwise into bite-sized pieces. When water is boiling, place the vegetable in the steamer, insert and steam for 3 minutes with the lid on. 3 minutes. Then remove the heat and leave for another 1 to 2 minutes. Now, at that point in time, you can actually serve the thing immediately with some extra virgin olive oil and sal de Garance sea salt. Okay?
You can take a screenshot of this recipe.
Yep.
Okay.
Do remember to make sure you get them as green. What we do, we get our groceries, and we get the green grocer to know us. And then when it arrives, they either call us or we call them, and then we get the Corella that's arrived that morning, right? Once the Corella has been in the shop or maybe a week, it's probably close to useless. That's why you got to be very careful when you're picking it, that you pick the firm, green, full of the markings, like the warts, what I call the warts, like that. Make sure that's the one you buy. Do not buy the ones like the light green, because that is an indicator, as I said, of age, and you want it to be bitter. Okay. Now, in addition to that,
we recommend the spring and summer dandelion, and
yes,
we've actually done a video on this. I'm just going to play this for you to
yes,
listen.
yes. If you're watching this video, there's a very strong chance, very, very probably, that you've been to many, many modalities, including medical professionals, in the way to treat diabetes. And often what you've been given is a modality that's probably been based on drugs. Well, let me assure you that over the last 40 years, I've been able to treat a lot of diabetic patients, type 1 and type 2, with really, really powerful natural methods which do not put your liver or your pancreas or your kidneys or your thyroid or your stomach in danger. Because these have been proven for the last 50, 60 years that they are proven to help to reduce your diabetes to almost a trickle, or often to clear the diabetes completely. Now, if you find this video useful, please share with others and subscribe to our channel. On the right of the word subscribe, there's a bell icon. Click on the bell icon and select all, so that you can receive notification each time we release a new video, which will be on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Now, as promised, today I'm going to recommend something that a lot of people see, but they don't realize the potential and the capacity and the importance of eating this particular herb. What's it known as? Dandelion. Dandelion. It's a serrated leaf, like teeth, right? And comes from the French dent de lion, which means tooth of the lion. You put the leaf that way, you'll see the serrated edge, and then it's like teeth, right? So the French call it dent de lion, which is aptly named, but then the English anglicise it to dandelion. So the way you'll see it is that as you recognize it, you'll see the serrated leaf like teeth, and you'll see one stem with a yellow flower. Now if you see other plants that have got many yellow flowers on one stem, that is not dandelion. The one that is a true dandelion grows with one stem with yellow flowers. The plant will give you as many as 5 to 10 flowers, yellow flowers, but it'll be on, each one will be on a stem. That's how you know. Now when you break the stem, you'll see a milk come out. That milk is a trigger for your liver and the pancreas. Now you need to eat about 6 to 8 leaves each day and 2 flowers each day for it to kick in the efficiency of the pancreas and the liver. So when you do that, if you do it on the regular, especially to this spring dandelion, the spring dandelion, the summer dandelion, the autumn dandelion, they're the powerful ones. Winter dandelions are fine, but they're not as bitter. The most bitter is spring and summer, and that's what you should be eating, between 6 to 8 leaves per day plus 2 flowers. I would recommend you grow them organically. You can always contact us and we'll teach you how to do it, and then you'll see the results. Now if you find this video useful, please share with others and subscribe to our channel. On the right of the word subscribe, there's a bell icon. Click on the bell icon and select all. You will then receive notification each time we release a new video, which will be on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Now, a strong recommendation for you. On the website, you'll see a facility where you can actually ask for this book. I spent several months, at least 3 months during lockdown, to write this book, lots of research behind it. The best way to treat diabetes naturally, by Ronald Simpson. Get this, ask for this book, and you'll see great results. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, just before we continue, I've got a question from the floor, and I think we'll probably answer that so that we can just move on.
Yeah.
Question from my relative Cassandra. She says, can you drink the water from Corella bitter melon, or do you just eat it?
Oh yes, that's a good question. Very good question. Yes, very good. So what that when you are steaming, well, remember you got your steamer pot, right? You got a steamer pot on the base with water in it, right? And because that's what causes steam, right? And then and the top pot, which is a steamer, actual steamer, the cut up Corella is sitting there in the pot. Now, of course, with steaming, there will be some element of food or nutrition which will go into the actual bottom pot, and that water is also medicinal because it is part of the original Corella as it steams. So that water will turn probably a bit murky, right? It's a very good idea what you've just raised. So instead of tossing the water in the sink, let it cool down and drink it. Then you'll get the entire benefits of the entire Corella, water and the flesh. All right. Now, just very briefly, so that you know exactly what I'm saying. I'm from Australia, so spring is completely the other difference. Now, at the moment, in England, spring is around now, about probably April, May is about the start of it. So that's when you see the bitter gourd, they see the dandelion grow. And then about now, you'll see very large leaves and very large leaves and very large flowers. And you can eat, in fact, you can actually eat the dandelion root, the dandelion leaves, the dandelion flower. But of course, if you eat the root, you'll destroy the plant. So it's best to just eat the leaves and the flowers. And remember the tip, you will know it's a dandelion when it's one stem with one flower on the top. If there's many stems with many flowers, that is not dandelion. You don't want that one. That's not a herb. Now, remarkably, in the world of medicinal medicine, dandelion ranks in the top 10 of medicinal herbs. Imagine that. And everybody, just about everybody tells you you're growing weeds. Well, they don't know what they're saying, right? I've had plenty of neighbors say to me, "You're growing weeds," and if they are that dumb that they don't understand it, they don't take it. Well, don't worry about it. You know, grow the dandelions yourself, and you can see in that picture there. There's yellow and the leaves. That is our emblem, the dandelion with the flowers and the leaves. Okay.
And just to make it clear, the dandelion, you do eat it raw like a salad.
Yes.
So do not cook it.
Yes.
And also back on Cassandra's question, if in case you meant juicing the bitter gourd,
Yes.
the best way is actually to eat it rather than to juice it.
Yes. Yes. You can juice it if you've got bad teeth, or you can't swallow, right? You can juice it, but then you need to put the whole plant in there, or the whole Corella and so on, and then you would then slowly sip that. I would rather use a juicer. I'd use like a blender. We personally have got both. We've got the juicer. We've got what I call a NutriBullet, which is a brilliant machine for making sauce that are beneficial and nutritious.
Okay, so this is another product which we've mentioned before.
Yes.
It's called Rain. It's from a company called Rain International.
Yes.
The link is there. And basically it comes in a pouch. One of their products is called Soul Red.
Yes.
That you see it here.
Yes.
And it's made up of the extracts of black cumin seeds, black raspberry seeds, and mainly grapeseed extract.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, the equivalent of the pouch, one pouch, is equivalent to that many servings of fruits and vegetables. So it's well worth looking into this.
Yeah, read that, Petrina, so they can see it.
So it's 8 to 10 servings of fruit, berries, apples, raisins, 2 to 3 servings of healthy fats, which could be raw almonds, walnuts, halves, and avocado, and 8 to 10 servings of vegetables, such as leafy greens.
Yeah, this was designed by oncologists in America and greatly improved, and it is the entire pouch contents is made of seeds, right? As you can see, if you had 8 servings of fruits, 2 to 3 servings of healthy fats, and 8 to 10 of veg, that's 8, say 10, that's about 18 servings of actual fruit and vegetables that is in that pouch, right? So that pouch is excellent for someone who's on the run, or someone who's at breakfast, or someone on that lunch, and they're working long hours. If they get that pouch, you shake it, that little tap on top, you tear that, and you squeeze that in your mouth, right? So that gives you the benefit of all these fruits and vegetables described on the chart. It's a very, very good product. The price is not exactly cheap, but if you had to eat 18 servings or more vegetables and fruit, that would cost you a lot of money. This is a lot cheaper. And I personally, when I'm about to work a 12-hour day in the garden, I will eat 2 of those in about every 6 hours. 2 of those, one or 2 of those pouches. And that gets me going from about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night. Really, really powerful stuff.
Okay, and it's also convenient to take especially when you're commuting, because it's a pouch, you can just tear it and drink it.
Yeah, and it's also suitable for diabetes because of the way this product is engineered.
Okay, the next slide's a bit quite visual, so just be warned. This is a photo of a true diabetic case.
Yes.
Where they actually got relief from this product.
Yes, yes.
This language is in Spanish. However, it's basically saying that the person took 3 sachets of Soul daily, and after 2 weeks, he was feeling better. After 2 months, no more weekly dialysis, and back to the quality of his life. And his doctor was obviously amazed.
Now, if you look carefully, if you look where the pouch is in the second picture, you start on the left, you can see where it's like cancer. It's eaten into his flesh. And then as it starts to heal, the next picture down here to the left, and then you go to the right, middle, and you can see it's tightening up. Finally, it's almost done. And then finally here, it's healed, right? That is the actual level of healing that took place by taking 3 sachets of that daily, okay? Sure, it's a lot, but look at the difference. How would you like to walk around with a wound like that, right? And then not only the healing the wounds and is relief, but it's the indicator that your internal body's healing. That is the most important, okay? So that's when we saw that evidence, we thought this is good stuff.
Okay. Before we move on to the next slide, we've got two other questions. Bunmi is asking, where can we get dandelion plants from? So Bunmi, just come and speak to us. We'll show you how. You will, if you have a garden or you've got access to a garden or a park, you will possibly find dandelions there as well.
But talk to us and we'll talk to
Yes.
us up separately.
And Francine's asked, is the frozen Corella just as good?
Ah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Now, obviously, the answer is this. It's far better to eat the fresh Corella, okay? However, if you can't get it or it's out of season, you're definitely better off to buy the frozen Corella from a reputable shop. Right? I know Sainsbury's sells it and it is good quality, right? So, but what you need to do is once you unfreeze it, it's in the freezer, right? And it's cut up already and it's well sealed, it's good quality. Not as good as a fresh one, of course, right? But you can shake it, you can break the freezer, and then you do the same thing, you steam it, and then preferably eat the whole content of the pouch the same day, right? Don't cook it and wait till the next day. Cook it today, and within half an hour of steaming it, eat it. Certainly you can use that. But when it's out of season, certainly get frozen and you can do it.
Okay, and Cassandra's asked, on the use of black seed oil,
Yes.
what is your comments regarding overall health and well-being stroke digestion?
I am absolutely for it. Anything that's got a good quality black seed oil is black means very, very potent nutrition. You've got to get a top quality black seed oil, and it is very effective against diabetes, liver refunction, brain refunction. Black seed oil, provided it's a good quality one, will work. I've seen it.
Okay, so and Francine says she normally just adds the frozen Corella to her smoothies.
That can be done.
Yeah.
That can be done. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the third one will be movement and exercise. Obviously, during the last 2 years, most of us have been in lockdown and leading quite sedentary lives. So it's obviously important to actually move and exercise as well. And the best way to really do it is walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we suggest you find a park nearby. Do not walk on the streets, obviously, because it's quite polluted, especially during the daytime. So find a nearby park, especially in the morning, and go for a walk.
Yes.
Or otherwise, you can take other forms of exercise as well.
Yep.
And you can see that there's a young lady here in a wheelchair. There's no excuse. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can do some sort of exercise as well.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
And this is, I think, one of our favorites questions. How many bowel movements should you have in a day? So we've done this before to explain. If imagine today was Saturday, that's day one, and you had 3 meals a day, and Sunday, the next day, you go to the toilet and you have a bowel movement. Now it basically comes first in, first out. So your breakfast comes out on a Sunday morning, and you carry on eating 3 meals, and say on the second day, on a bowel movement. So the second day, you actually have the lunch from day one coming out on day 3 of the morning. And you have another 3 meals a day. Likewise, on day 4, you've got 1 bowel movement, for example. So the meals, the number of meals that is still in your digestive system at the start of day 4 would be these 6 meals.
Yep.
Now, does that make sense? Oops. Okay. So basically what we're saying is that if you're eating 3 meals a day or 2 to 3 meals a day, 1 bowel movement is not enough. Not enough.
Per day.
Per day.
Should have 2 at least.
So if you're constipated and if you're not having like 2 bowel movements a day, if you're eating 3 meals, then we either recommend you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and a lot of fiber. However, we also have a product which is called Fiber G, which can help as well. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And 1 tablespoon of this gives you 12 grams of soluble and insoluble fiber.
In perfect balance.
Yeah. most of us would need at least 36 to 38 grams of soluble and insoluble fiber daily. So this is really like the convenient way of doing it. And you can order it through this link. You can take a screenshot. And whilst you're making note of it, I just wanted to share another testimonial from this guy here. We met him quite a number of years ago. And you may be able to see he's actually quite slim. And he was actually amazed at what the 5G managed to do for him as well.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Martin from Devon. I met Ronald and Petrina about 8 weeks ago now, and they helped me with healthier eating and nutrition in general. I'm now on a detoxification course, which greatly helps my digestive system, and it worked right from day one. My family are all on the same course as me, so I really thank Ronald and Petrina for all they've done, and it really works. I recommend it to everybody. Thank you.
So basically, to describe Martin, I remember him saying he's slim and he said he eats only that small plate of food. When he took the 5G, he was going to the toilet and he knew was actually getting out a lot more. So this is how effective it is, because some of the things that were coming out from his body was actually old matter that had been stuck there.
Yes.
Similar to like the scale you have on your in your kettle or on pipes which are old.
Yes.
You get scale and gunk, and this is what happens in our body as well. Okay. Now, before we continue, we've got a good question from Leon. How can you know which is the best quality black seed oil?
Oh, well, send us, I can answer that, but it's a bit too long to answer. Send us an email or a text after this, and I will give you the best one I've got.
Yeah, we've got some brands in mind.
We've got some brands in mind, but okay.
So the fifth one, the fifth method of managing or treating or preventing your diabetes is to do with your mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right, as the saying goes.
Yes.
So you want to explain this?
Yes. So what actually happened when you look at the actual mixture of the body, genetics, environment, and actions you take, the genetics is a part where you actually got to check your background and see whether your genetics are actually problematic from your grandfather or your dad or your mum. And then you need to place yourself in the right environment. And I'll tell you now, even if they offer you a £3 million house in London proper, right, and sell a house there and come out into the country or where there's least pollution. If you live in an environment like in central London with all the buses and the tubes and the oils, you are going to get sick. Sooner or later, you will get sick. There is evidence now where kids are getting asthma, hay fever, and so on from the pollution living in central London. But genetics plays a big part. So the actions you take are also very, very important. Would you like to read that, Petrina?
Yes, it says the actions you take basically plays a big part of what happens to you, plays a big part in how well you recover from your diabetes.
Yes. And the action you take, by the way, don't have to be in the blind. If you talk to someone like us or you come and see us, we will give you precisely the actions you should take for your condition.
Okay,
right?
We've got one more question from Chevrolet. I hope you pronounce your name correctly. Yep. Can you take fiber G if on medication for things like mental health?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, it's highly recommended because let me give you some very, very interesting common sense. The human body, if it's toxic in the gut, in other words, if it's toxic in the liver, the kidneys, the bladder, the colon, the intestines, that will affect your mental health. It will, because your mental health is derived by the effectiveness and the cleanliness of your brains. If your brains have got toxicity that is obtained from the colon, the intestines, the liver, and so on, your brains will suffer and you'll be a slow thinker. You will end up with some form of dementia or memory loss. You will, right? But it depends how effective you are in removing the toxicity from these organs I mentioned, the colon, the intestine, the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas, the lungs, the thyroid. These are all positions where toxicity can build up from years and years of poor eating and poor thinking and poor environment. So all these factors are very powerful in giving you problems with your brain. So definitely, highly recommended, get yourself on a program of detoxification and your mental health will improve massively.
Okay, so we've got a question from Leon. What type of device would you need to test pollution and get a quick reading?
Okay, yeah, well, that is a technical engineering, but I've got a lot of connections. I could probably find out from one of our connections what sort of gadgets you could use where you could test your environment with a machine. And I think they'll be available. Let me do some thinking on that and some connection with our people that are involved in that area. We have a lot of connections there. And then I will let you know what gadgets you can use to test your pollution.
Okay. So the sixth one is to do with sleep.
Yes.
Now, how many hours do we need daily, or how many hours do we get?
Yes.
Do you feel refreshed after you've slept, or are you still tired? So the importance is to get adequate sleep, and how important it is to actually have a comfortable mattress, pillow, and also an uncluttered bedroom, ideally free of electronic devices. That means that there shouldn't be any TV in the room. There shouldn't be your mobile phones in the room and other things that will distract you.
Yeah. If I could just comment on something. Comfortable mattress is a must. You're better off to sell a good car, right, and buy yourself a very comfortable mattress, because that will give you another car, the ability to make more money and buy another car. The pillow is very important. Get a chiropractic type pillow. I go to a chiropractor. Often they sell the pillow that you should be having, not a flat pillow. It's got like a curve in it. And the body, what I mean by that with the body is that the way you sleep, right, on your back or your front, on the side, can play a big part in how you sleep during the night. I personally prefer what we call the position of a baby in the womb. They'll be curled up like that, legs up a bit. You live on your side. You can even put a small pillow between your knees. If you sleep on your back, it can compress your spine. If you sleep on your front, it can compress your stomach and stop you from breathing properly. So I prefer to sleep on the left, lying down, or right. Now, also very important, as Petrina said before, uncluttered bedroom. Your bedroom should be your heaven, away from it all. No electronic devices. In other words, no computers, no phones, nothing like that. And you could use a device that we've got, which is a little device I got from America, which plays you electronic music, which is designed to make you sleep all through the night. If anybody wants to know about it, it's a little gadget about probably 2 or 3 inches wide. It's a design by top musician. He was also a capable electronic device maker. He got this made up, and you push the button and it plays you this lullaby, and it's actually wonderful. You put that on, within 5 minutes of listening to it next to your bed, right, it is incredibly powerful in making you sleep. Now, the other one is adequate darkness. Now, do not put lights on, right? You should seal all your windows, shut it, have your windows open but shut, right, your blinds, and silence. Silence is very important, because the silence is what makes the sleep deeper, right? You've got different levels of sleep. So you've got alpha, beta, theta. Most people sleep between alpha and beta, which is a light sleeping. Theta is when you go deep, deep, deep into sleep. And then that's when you recuperate your body from getting new tissue, better recovery of your heart, and so on and so on. So silence and theta sleep is the level it should be at. Now, Petrina's just put on a couple of things. On the left of the screen, you'll see lavender and you'll see chamomile, right? Now, what I'll recommend, I'll just start with those two first. The lavender, we grow about 6 lavender plants in our garden on the front, side, and back. And every night I will take 2 or 3 of these flowers and I'll put it directly under my head in the pillow slip. I'll lift the pillow slip where my head's going to rest, and I put it in there. Fresh lavender flowers, 2 or 3 every night. You can get that if you've got a lot of plants, right? Now, so that lavender, especially the French lavender and the English lavender, is very potent and has a lovely perfume, and that is very conducive to getting deep, deep sleep. Now, the one next door is called Chamomile, right? Now, the flower is a beautiful little yellow flower, which the petals turning down. You can grow that. That is designed for making tea, not for putting on your pillow. That's what you do is you put about 6 flowers from your garden in a teapot. You put boiling water on it. You let it brew for 8 minutes, and a light liquid will come out, and you put a teaspoon of honey, and you drink that half an hour before sleep, okay? And that will give you a very good sleep as well. Now, night lights, you've got the one with the blue color. It's a very calming blue color. The other one is a special, it's a salt lamp, right? We can use both, okay? That's very effective for good sleep, okay? And sleep music, as I said before, don't play very heavy rock music or hard rock music at night time before you go to sleep. You need like a lullaby type music. If you want to know more, let me know, and I will send you a picture of the machine we use.
Or you can also play classical music. I've
Yes.
actually shown some CDs which I have here, classical music.
Yes.
That is just called Classical Dreams.
Yes.
This one is by a guy called Giovanni.
Yes.
He's quite popular. He plays a very nice piano calming music.
Yes.
You can get that.
Yeah.
And one of our other favorites is by Andre Rieu.
Yep.
That's his CD here. He
Yep.
plays a lot of good classical music as well.
Yes.
You know,
He's an excellent musician. Now, while we're talking about classical music, what is a good idea is, let's say it's 9 o'clock at night, right? Don't watch, at that point in the night, don't watch a music of horror, like a TV with horror in it, or some really strange stuff that you're watching on TV. There's a lot of that around, unfortunately. What you do is you turn the TV off, right? 2 hours before sleep, you listen, you sit down in your lounge where it's comfortable, and you listen to Andre Rieu or one of the classical music we've just shown you, and you listen and you close your eyes and you meditate about how good your life is. That is a very powerful way to get you ready for sleep. And then you go to your bed, you play the music on this device I've got, and then it continues the sleep pattern, deep sleep pattern straight away, and then you sleep right through the night, and you get between 6 to 8 hours. I recommend at least 7 hours of deep sleep. Any less than that, your body will suffer.
Okay. Now, if all this still do not work, what we personally use and recommend is magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D.
Yes.
And you can read all about this on the link here, https://askthescientist.com/QA/magnecal-D.
Yep.
It tells you all about the product itself. Basically, magnesium helps to calm our body down, and that will actually help us relax as well.
Yeah. Let me just expand a little bit on that. I've been aware of minerals from very young, very, very young. I was aware what my grandfather was putting on his plants, and he was getting those minerals, and the difference in the quality of plants was amazing. He'd give minerals to his chickens, 80 chickens, and his roosters. So I became very aware at an early age that minerals play a huge part. Now, I'm going to give you something fascinating. You have what are called the macro minerals, and you have what are called the micro minerals, right? Now, the macro minerals means large and very important to the body. Micro minerals is small, tiny, but still vital. That's what I call the trace minerals. So magnesium and calcium are the key macro minerals. Now, they form an important collection to fix your bones, your ligaments, your tissues, your heart, your lungs. In other words, every important organ in your body, from your skin, your tissues, to your eyes, and so on, requires magnesium and calcium in significant intake to get your body working properly. But I'm Australian. I know the difference between Australian sun and English sun, right? Like yesterday was about 34 degrees, perfect, but today it's about 17. Now you need 28 degrees, 45 minutes of sunshine on your bare chest in the middle of the day, so you get enough vitamin D. So the company we get this from has worked that out. So they put magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D together, right? Together. And the potency is guaranteed. It's highest rate nutrition. So when you get this product, you're getting a guaranteed amount of magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D. And as English livers, during winter, this is even more important because in winter you would get no vitamin D at all. I would say, from my very interesting expertise and watching people, I would say about 92% of English people don't get enough vitamin D. They don't get it because they hibernate, even if it's 30 degrees, they hibernate inside, right? They don't go outside. They put their head, they put covers over their head, umbrellas over their head. You need sun, okay? Now, the people from Queensland in Australia, they're in the sun 8 to 10 hours a day. They're surfing, they're gardening, they're in the country, and that's why there's no shortage of vitamin D in most of the Australians living in that area of the world, eastern part of Australia, Queensland, God's given country, right? So, but here in England, especially in places like London, the vitamin D is very, very low, right? So make sure that if you don't get enough sun, you take this product and that will help you a hell of a lot. Now, the other trace minerals are, for example, silicon, molybdenum, boron, and all the smaller vitamins are called different names, but the two most important macro minerals, magnesium and calcium. We can give you a list of all the macro minerals and all the micro minerals and show you the food you should be eating to obtain those. So by all means, contact us, we'll let you know.
Okay, now, does anyone know who this person is? I know you're all muted, but
Yeah.
you do?
Jason James.
Oh,
Yes.
great. Okay, good. So for those of you who do not know, he's Jason James. He's been on Channel 5 TV, Rich House, Poor House. He's a serial entrepreneur, coach, and one of our mentors, and also a very good speaker. And he's been wise enough to actually also come to see us for his health concerns. And this is what he's had to say for us, about us.
Hey everyone, it's Jason James here, and I want to talk to you about two people who are very, very special, and that is Ronald and Petrina of Planet Wellness. Now look, if you're someone right now who has struggled with traditional illnesses, and maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies, you've been on treatment from your doctors, whatever it might be, and you're looking for something alternative, you're looking at a natural way to heal your body, then what I'm going to do is ask you to get in touch with Ronald and Petrina right now. They have a very unique system of diagnosing issues, finding exactly what it is that your body needs in order for it to heal itself. That's right, heal itself. So if you're someone who's sitting on the fence right now, you're not entirely sure whether to give them a go or not, go ahead and get in touch. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Okay, thank you, Jason. And as we said, you can book your free consultation, pre-consultation chat with us via calendly.com/wellness iridology.
Now, please understand the word free. We actually mean free, right? We're not, when you do a pre-consultation chat, might be 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it's free. We do that because to encourage people to talk to us, converse with us, so they can see what we're about, the fiber and the caliber that we're about. If we don't charge for that first, when you do come and see us, then of course we have a fee, but for what you're going to get out of it, it's worth millions. Because once you sharpen your brain, sharpen your body, you can make millions. So whatever you fork out in your fee, which is very reasonable for the amount of work we do with you, you're going to get some fantastic results.
Okay. We're coming towards the end now.
Yes.
The seventh one is to do with relationships. And as you know, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So do bear that in mind. Be it your family, your friends, your colleagues, people you need, strangers, specialists. And we wanted to also share with you a book about specialists. It says what your doctor doesn't know about nutritional medicine may be killing you. Now, this was written by a doctor
Yes,
called Ray Strand,
I've met him.
Dr. Ray Strand.
Yes.
So do check out this book and read it. It'll actually explain to you that sometimes the specialists that you may go to may not know everything as well. So be mindful of that and keep an open mind as well.
Whilst we're on this page, I remember meeting Dr. Dennis Waitley back in 1998. Now, for the viewers who don't know who Dennis Waitley is, Dr. Dennis Waitley is a doctor of philosophy. Is a former aviator. He used to land jets on aircraft carriers in the US Navy. An incredibly talented man. He used to have to use in the fighter squadron, and he'd fly the jets in and out off the aircraft carrier's deck, right? And his grandmother was a huge contributor in his life, and he wrote books to what his grandmother taught him. And one of the books he wrote was The Psychology of Winning, Empires in the Mind. If you want to improve your motivation, buy the book Psychology of Winning by Dr. Dennis Waitley. Now, Dennis pulled me aside once, and he said this to me. I have never forgotten it. He said the 5 to 7 closest people who are in contact with you right now and constantly will dictate where you'll be in 5 years' time. Let me repeat that. The 5 to 7 people you are regularly in contact with right now will dictate the way you'll be in 5 years' time and where you'll be in 5 years' time. In other words, if you're surrounded by people that are negative, that are not good for you, that do not give you positive input, get rid of them. I mean, get rid of them. So instead, contact people that are positive 100% all the time. Whether it's night or day, they're positive. They're the people you want, right? Distance yourself away from negative people who don't really mean any, they don't really care about you. You'll know what they are. Find people, if you haven't got them now, find people like us in your life, and then your life will be so much better 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. You'll live a lot longer.
So last but not least, it's on what we've already more or less covered. Surround yourself with good personal development, join specialist groups, read positive magazines, attend webinars like these, listen to audiobooks, good physical books you can read as well, depending on whether you're an audio person or someone who likes to read physically. And the question we have to end with is, are you happy or healthy? And if you are, keep doing whatever you're doing. And if it's no, then we've already said that you want to be healthier or happier. If you do, then change something. Implement what we've shared with you on this webinar. And if you don't want to be healthy, then that's fine. You can just carry on doing what you're doing. Okay. So when's the best time to plant a tree, as the popular Chinese proverb says? 20 years ago, the next best time is now. And Ronald mentioned about this guy, Dennis Waitley. He reminds us that time and health are the two precious assets that we do not recognize or appreciate until they have been depleted.
Yeah.
So really now is time, whatever stage of health you're in, now is the time to actually fully appreciate and recognize these two precious assets, which is time and health.
Now, just before we close it, I want to reread that because I want to impact on your brain what he's actually saying. Dennis is one of the most amazing motivators in America. He sold 20 million CDs prior to 1998. 20 million. That's how popular he is, how good he is. Time and health are two precious assets. He didn't say house. He didn't say car. He didn't say superannuation. He said time and health. Two precious that we do not recognize and appreciate until they have been depleted. Let me tell you, it's a lot harder on your body when you've been exhausted, you've got serious disease, you're depleted, your health's depleted. It's very hard then to know how to reverse it. We can still help you, but it's far better to treat what you've got now get the assets in good condition now, and then you will live a long, long, healthy life like we are.
Okay. So just to end, to make you aware, we have written 5 short guides.
Yes,
They're all here.
yes,
So the first one we've already mentioned, what your eyes can reveal about your health. The second one, best ways to treat diabetes. We've mentioned that as well.
Yep.
The third one is 6 proven secrets to improve your psoriasis or any skin conditions that you have.
mhm.
The fourth one is 8 key steps to improve your wellness.
Yes. Just that photo is my favorite. That was taken on Anzac Day in 3 years ago.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
3
about
years
3
ago.
years ago, and that's me after the Anzac Day march on behind in front of the eye, the eye in London.
The
Right?
London Eye.
Yeah, you'll notice, I'm so proud of this. You'll notice on the left of my chest, you'll see 3 medals there. In fact, I've got 4 now, and there's a combat badge above that. And on the left, my right of my chest, you'll see 5 medals. The 5 medals on my right are some of the medals that my dad's family earned in the Second World War. I'm entitled to wear that because they're my family. On the left, these are my Vietnam medals, right? And above the medals, you'll see a combat badge. Now, there's very few people in Australia that have got that. That you only get that if you're serving combat, actual combat, for 6 months or more in a theater of war, right? And in that picture, I'm smiling because I'm still alive after Vietnam, right? And you can see I'm smiling genuinely, right? And I've still got all my hair, my skin's good. You can see my shoulders are good size, right? And that's because I lift gardening bags worth 30, 40 kilos. And that's one of my favorite pictures because it's not about bragging. It's about encouraging people to look at that picture and say, that is a smiling man. He's fit, he's healthy, he loves life.
Okay, and the last ebook on the right-hand side is 8 proven secrets to boost your immune system. Now,
Yes.
how do you get access to all these booklets? They're free. The easiest way is to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Planet Wellness. On the right-hand side, there's a tab called About, and all the links are there on the YouTube channel itself. And if you still can't find it, do feel free to message me. I'll send you the link. Here's our website. And also all our other contact details can be found on this link, ourteamworks.com/card/Planet Wellness/. Okay.
Mhm.
And as we mentioned, if you wanted to book a free pre-consultation call with us for about 15-20 minutes, that's totally free. However, if you wanted to book a more in-depth one for about 45 minutes to an hour, then normally we would charge $297. However, we are currently charging just £99 to discuss your main health concern. It's going to be more comprehensive. You'll actually get more information from that. If you book for a longer consultation, we'll also give you some recipes you can follow and some further advice as well on this more in-depth consultation. And any fee that you pay will be offset against our in-person consultation fee when you book to see us within 2 weeks of the Zoom call that you're having. Again, the link is calendly.com/wellness Iridology. Do check out our website as well. We publish new blogs every Monday and Friday. And our Facebook page, Planet Wellness. We give tips, wellness tips every weekday. And we do a live on Wednesdays at 12:45 p.m. UK time. We also have a YouTube channel, as mentioned. We've got videos out every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And the last one is basically we are going to be starting our second YouTube channel, focusing mainly on iridology, and we will be having videos every Wednesday and Sunday in the coming week or so.
Mhm.
And that's the link if you want to subscribe to our channel now, so
Yes.
you can be notified.
Yes.
So that's all from us. If you've got any
You got any
questions,
questions on it?
Bunmi's just asked, how do I get hold of the music gadget? So as Ronald has mentioned, we will
Yeah.
we will share that when you message us
I
privately.
think we've got your details. Haven't
Yeah,
we?
we do.
We have. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
send it to you.
So over back to you, Francine or Leon.
Thank you, Petrina and Ronald. That was fantastic. Very detailed and lots of information and lots to get your brain ticking over and thinking and thinking.
Yeah, and I think
Me
we've covered
personally,
all
you're
the
speaking to me as
questions.
well. Sorry?
I think we've covered all the questions as well. If I have missed out any, please do let me know and we can cover that now.
No, you've
Yeah.
done a brilliant job. That's been great. They said, could you put the page up with the links up again, please?
Sure.
That's just coming, your details for people to take a screenshot.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course.
Yes.
Just share this. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
That's great. Thank you. And as we were going along, I went to your website and put some of the.
Yes, thank you very much. You were very efficient on that. I'm really impressed.
I couldn't type quick enough, so I thought, let me just go to the website.
Francine, could I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, sure.
I noticed you're wearing glasses, right?
Yeah,
How long have you been wearing glasses?
since I was probably about 7, 8.
Okay.
All my life. Well, from a child, I'd say.
And can I ask your age, if I may?
I'm 47.
So you've had about what 30 odd years wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Well, when you finish, like this afternoon, whatever, contact Petrina, right? And we'll give you a private chat on how you can get rid of your glasses.
Well, that would be fantastic.
I'll tell you why, so I can encourage you. I'll be quick. My dad wore glasses at 42. I was 17 and I observed that, and I was already studying genetics and nutrition. So I was able to eat much better than him because I wanted to. He didn't worry too much about food, but I did. So I was able to, because of his genetics, I started wearing glasses at 50. I started wearing glasses 3 times a week. And then I did a very smart thing. I went to America 8 times in 2 years. I went connected with all the top scientists in America, right? And I got his formula made up, and I used double the formula for 2 years, from 50 to 52. And guess what? After 52, I never wore glasses again. Never.
Wow.
And I've got the formula, right? I've got the formula, right?
Oh,
And
fantastic.
it's even more. Now I'm 76 in August and still no glasses, right? And because of what I know about glasses in the body, I don't think I'll ever wear glasses. Can you see how fabulous that is? I save
It
around
would be amazing.
£300. I save around £300 a year on glasses. I'd rather put that in the treatment. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely will give you a call because I know relating to my diabetes as well. My eyesight is not great at the moment because my sugars is not great either. But I'm trying to work on it. But it's like it's hard, isn't it?
It is.
It's easy, but it's hard.
Yeah, you one thing about any disease, you've got to internally make the decision to improve. You've got to say to yourself, I'm determined to improve. And then any problems, any breaks on the way, you'll go over it. Any mountains, any hills, any lake, you'll get over it. Eventually you will recover from diabetes. You will. And that is going to be one of the big steps to getting your glasses off your face.
Yeah, I know, because I said my eyesight, I know my sugars are high because my vision is slightly off sometimes. So I do know, but I'm trying to implement things to make it better, but I'm not great. So definitely I will put in a call and it's the support. It's you think you can do it yourself because it's easy, like they say, oh, just cut the sugars, cut this out, cut that out. But then
it's not easy, it's simple.
Yeah. Easy, but what did you say, Danielle? Easy, but simple.
It's not easy, it's simple.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What she means is that it's simple when somebody shows it to you. And we've got the experience to help you.
Yeah, I will call.
Yep.
And
Okay,
it's also you need someone to keep yourself accountable as
That's
well.
right.
And that is why even we personally have our own mentors, because we can't do it all ourselves.
yes.
Mm.
And
Very
Leon
true.
has got a question.
Which
Have you
is?
got a formula for small belly too?
Small belly,
Yeah.
meaning
Small
meaning.
belly.
Did you say
You
small
want to
belly?
elaborate
You
more?
want to elaborate on that?
No, I know. I like the ease of which you popped out. The glasses, which everyone thinks is a really big deal.
Yes.
That you got a formula can sort that out. And
Yes,
the way you say
yes.
so casually. And I'm
Yes.
thinking, well, maybe you got one for weight loss as well.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure you have, but
you do. Yeah, we
probably
do.
haven't got enough time to talk about it here.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
We'll discuss it on another session.
I'll give you some encouragement. We've got a guy from Jamaica originally, and he weighed about 95 kilos. Okay, and a really lovely guy, right? He's a builder, really lovely guy, right? And very humble. He met us. We told him he wanted to lose weight. He knew that, and we gave him the treatment in about over 2 hours. We showed him exactly what to do. And about a week and a half later, 2 weeks later, he'd lost 1.5 stones.
This was fairly recent, about
fairly
a
recent,
month
yeah.
ago.
He lost 21 pounds in 1.5 weeks. He was like, I said, how are you feeling? He said, ecstatic, because we knew exactly which buttons to press in him to lose that much weight, right? And his face improved out of sight, and his partner couldn't believe how much weight he'd lost. And it was healthy stuff, healthy loss, right? And he was more happy, energetic in work. He was able to lift things better, right? And that, remember, 21 pounds loss, weight loss in 1.5 weeks. He did exactly as he was told. He got the results. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, no, interesting. No. I know you have the solutions.
Yes, we
We
do.
just want to bring out as many of them as we possibly can in a limited time frame.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. It's been informative. But
Pleasure.
we also speak on diabetes, yeah, and this is not a complaint.
No.
And you speak about diabetes and general well-being and health
Yes. Yes.
and other life skills. You've touched on some gardening tips.
Yes.
We've got
Yes.
some cooking tips in there.
Yes.
So
Mm.
ordinarily,
Yes.
first of all, we got the dynamic duo, the two of you.
Yeah. But by the way, since, just to finish off, we have also been very successful with treating tumors and all the sort of combinations of tumors and so on. We've been very successful with that, and we've been able to work with the medical fraternity to work with our systems as well in conjunction, and we've reversed tumors of the thyroid that was the size of a football field in about 16 weeks, right? So anybody who's worried about a tumor or a growth, we can help with that as well. So, but that is a very, very important thing to talk to us about it. Don't get worried about it. Talk to us about it. We'll guide you to the right path in fixing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yep. And
I've got a question for you though.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's more of a there's a story which you haven't told, which we spoke about before.
Yes.
I'll just pop the question in the chat. But in general, to everyone on here, it's not about being rich and sick, because that's not what we're going for.
Yes.
And you could switch on to broke and still not as well.
Yes.
But you need to look into wellness and what wellness means for you.
Yes.
And then are you willing to take it seriously? And I appreciate the fact that somebody say, well, hang on a second, this is going to bankrupt me. I can't afford all this. Well, it's about finding a way.
Yes.
You might not have to do everything at once. You maybe can do stages.
Yes.
Maybe you can work on something lower, have a consultation, then do something low cost to start off with.
Yes.
And then increase as you're getting better results to go along. So some people wrongly assume that you have a consultation and you leave the consultation with £800 of products that you can't afford to pay for, or a long shopping list. It's not necessarily like that.
Yeah.
I would say have no or low expectation about spending lots of money. It's about health and getting the health right and getting the right advice. Because if a consultant or practitioner is really cheap, really cheap, and then nothing works for you and nothing changes.
Yeah. Leon, you've raised a very, very good point. We are only too aware that there are people out there that are suffering greatly, but they're not rich, right? In fact, they'd be almost like really low level poverty. But let me tell you something fascinating. I'm 76 in August, right? And I qualified in very high level financial planning in Australia. I'm qualified in financial planning in Australia, which means the similar principles can apply here as well. Financial planning is financial planning, right? You just adopt to the right country. Now, if somebody comes to us, we are that advanced in teaching people how to survive that if you're poor or you got no money or little money, right, we can start you with one product. We can start you with some herbs, right? And we can, for £10, we can now start with growing some herbs or get some seed packets. We can teach you what to eat, like in your own garden, in pots or whatever, and we can start to reverse you now. And as you get healthier and wealthier, you can afford more. We work with you all the way through to get to the results, right? Okay, now we're not here to sell supplements. We're here to sell you your health and your wealth. That's what it's about. If the supplements work and you can afford them, you take them. Otherwise, we can adapt and adopt better ways, cheaper ways, and you'll still get there, but slower, but you'll get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you've brought out the point eloquently well.
Yeah.
That I was alluding to.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I know that for some people, there will be questions that they will have.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
I've seen 2 more questions on the chat, obviously from Leon. Can you resolve cataract caused by diabetes?
Yes. Yes. Can do.
The best thing is ask the person to actually have a chat with us.
Yes.
Because of time.
Yes. We cataracts sometimes is so advanced, you have to have a combination of medical intervention. I'm the first one to say that. You might need chemical, but we can, if you need to have medical interventions, we can show you what to take before the operation and what to take after the operation, so you never get cataracts again. Right? So yeah, we have to be very mindful of how things work. Now I've done many connections with doctors, and I personally did 3 years in medicine, and I know there's a part to play where sometimes you do need to have an operation, you do need it, but if we can fix it with natural methods, we will do that. And it can be worked in conjunction. We're very humble about how we can fix it, but we understand the big picture. That's the key.
Okay, and we've got a question from user Joy. What can help with menopause naturally without medication? For example, hot flushes. I've actually left my contact details in the chat. You send us your information. I'll recommend a product which I personally use myself as well, and it totally works. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen,
Question.
Yeah.
The question is this, right? Is there anyone that's got any more questions before these people leave the building?
Yeah.
But before we get onto that, while we give them a chance to think about it, right? Will you agree to come back on the platform at least a dozen more times?
Oh, absolutely. We're here to serve, right?
We're happy as long as you all want us to.
Yeah,
so.
we are amazed by the quality of the people and the amount of people that are on the site. We see the screen's full, right? And we can help all these people. Imagine the seeding impact that has on other people. Because the people on the channel today, they get so much information, they can pass it on their family and the rest of the nation. And that's how the seed starts. That's how a tree starts, by seed, and then you work your way through it. Right? But all means, we will keep improving, and with any new innovation, anything new discovery we find, any new herbs we find, we will keep adding to it, and then we'll just keep improving so that all of you guys can get benefits.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have more conversation. We're not gonna have the conversations here, because as you're speaking, ideas are coming to me.
Yeah, good. Now I'll just tell you a little comment now. Now I'm outside now. I'm actually lining up to go outside and work in the garden for 6 hours, right, till nightfall, because my garden's got 28 fruit trees, 16 vegetables, and 48 medicinal herbs. and they all need my care. So when I finish here, I've been sitting on my backside for a couple of hours. I'm going to go out there in a few minutes, and I'm going to put my work boots on, my overalls, and I'm going to be in the garden, lifting things, planting new things, planting new seeds. So one day you're all welcome to come and visit our garden and see how wonderful the garden is.
Just let us know which day we'll do a documentary for you. But question, so what you trying to tell us, right, that you're just doing this whole session in your lunch break?
Yes, I am. We are. Exactly.
Okay.
Well, guys. Well, if you've got anything else, otherwise we'll beg off.
No. We not contact you. Most of our people do. And if they got any questions for you and they drop it in the WhatsApp group, which you are not a part of, on purpose, we will still get that communication to you. I must say that these two individuals here are wonderful to work with because they're so responsive. I will send a message to Petrina and expecting not to get a response. We've got to raise a hand and acknowledge that for at least the rest of the day, maybe till you finish work, and then sometimes 10, 15 minutes later, check my phone and there's a response. I'm thinking, crikey, either one or two things, they've got nothing else to do, or they're incredibly efficient.
Well, I'm someone who likes to get things out of the way, so if I can answer it then I will, so that I don't forget.
Petrina is the most efficient machine I've ever seen. She is so talented. She'll work till 11 o'clock at night to get things done, right? And but so she, the two of us together, we're like an atomic bomb going off. Is that powerful? You know, so
listen, so everybody really needs, all men in particular needs a man.
Yep.
A living needs a woman powered by a rod.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we can have consultations for that. We have iPhone. Not sure. Please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Unmute and introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, my name is Doreen McKenzie. Can I please have the link for the books, please?
Yes,
yes, if I could have that, I'd be very grateful.
It's quite a long list for me to type. As I mentioned, I'll type the YouTube channel, and you can go there.
I can screenshot it if it's put up back again. I just missed it really.
Yeah, just hang on.
Just I've typed.
Thank you very much.
Chat anyway. Basically, the best way to get our 5 ebooks is to go to our YouTube channel and go to the About section, and you'll see all the links there.
Yeah.
However, if you want our contact details, here it is again.
So YouTube section, and you go to this channel there.
There you go.
Can you see?
Yep.
So can you see in front of you there?
So it's basically
yes, I can. YouTube channel.
/c/Planet Wellness.
Yes.
There is a tab called About, and all the links to our Facebook, our Instagram, our 5 ebooks, they're all there.
I'll repeat that: www.youtube.com/C for Charlie //Planet Wellness. That is the link to all the books.
Okay, thank you very much.
Questions you have, you're welcome to. I put my mobile number there as well. You're welcome to text me or give me a call or book a Calendly consultation call as well.
Yeah, I would recommend download all the books. And the first one I would work on is 8 key steps to improve your wellness. That would be the first one I recommend. And then you can look at best ways to treat diabetes next, immune system next. So all the books, I've got tremendous amount of knowledge input together. They're a powerful tool to get yourself in good shape. All right? Okay.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
We'd love to hear it. Just by the by, if you see on the psoriasis chart, I'll give you a very short story. That lady involved there, English lady, you see the picture says before, her body was covered in sores with psoriasis, covered from top to top. She'd been sick for over 45 years. She went to 47 doctors, 7 skin specialists, spent about 60,000 pounds in fees. And she saw me on TV. She connected with us. We gave her the right advice compared to what she'd done before. Remember, she paid 60,000 pounds in fees to doctors. They didn't do the right thing. And after 16 weeks without treatment, look at the figure on the right after, see the picture? That's the same lady. totally heal from top to bottom. Now, we can fix psoriasis at that level. 45 years of pain, we fixed it in 16 weeks. We can do eczema, rashes, acne, and all this sort of thing by knowledge. That book is very, very, very important. Look at that one as well. Even if you haven't got eczema or whatever, get the book. Okay.
And also Francine asked about photos of our garden. On the YouTube channel somewhere, if you search, I did do a very short video around Easter time.
Yes.
It's I think about 2-minute video
Yeah.
of our garden. So you're welcome to do that as well.
Yeah.
And I've got Melvina, is that you've got a question?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I've been diagnosed with I had sciatica and a bad lower back pain, and I found out that a cyst on my spine.
Okay.
And on my L4, L5 lumbar.
Yes.
Has apparently the aging process gone quicker, which I found out is called a degenerative issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going for a consultation in July, mid-July, to find out what they can do for it.
Yep.
But
yep.
I can't do any running. I can't walk. I can't do any weights, which I've always been doing for the whole of my life.
Yes.
I wondered if there's any way that I can get some sort of healing, or if you could fix that.
Well, I've got some really good news for you. As part of my training in nutrition, I connected with two. In fact, there's more than that, but two of the very best chiropractors in Australia. Very best. They're both master chiropractors with 20 odd years of experience.
Right.
And what happened is that I studied the entire back, because I had a bit of a lower back problem from the army. I carried big packs, and it was a chiropractor that fixed it in 1976. Okay.
Right.
And so the back is made up of the cervical area, right? You got your head, right? And then you got the atlas. Then you get the cervical area, cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae. Now, if you've got a cyst in any one of those, especially in that lumbar area, that cyst can interfere with the nerves, millions of nerves that run alongside the spinal column, right? And what it would pay you to do, rather than doing it dark, I'd pay you to come and talk to us, and we'll give you some more precise things to do. It's too short now. I don't want to give you the wrong advice or give you short advice. I'd say give us a call, have a talk to us, and I will give you some very clear guidelines of what you can do to fix that up.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, pleasure.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
All right, Uncle Ronald and Auntie Pet. Can allow me to answer the next 100 questions right now? Yeah. There's a common thread running through all the answers. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's got a very strong dose of contact us directly, and we can help you more. So if anyone's missed that, you can ask a question here, and you're welcome, and thank you for doing so. It gives us an insight into the sort of problems that can be resolved.
Correct. Yeah.
But you are going to need a more in-depth consultation.
Yes.
Or at the very least a conversation.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So do yourself a favor, because you're not going to get the full answer on here because we're limited to time. And Uncle Ron's itching to go into the garden. So over to Francine to close out.
Okay.
Thank you again. There is just one question.
Yes.
With regards to the lady that had the psoriasis.
Oh, yes.
Did it come back?
No, it never came back because number one, she was super toxic. I mean, super toxic. So we removed every bit of toxicity out of it. That's why the skin healed, right? And of course, she then had the presence of mind to realize that the psoriasis was caused by her missing good foods and eating the wrong things, right? And then from then on, as she adopted our methods and our way of eating, there was no way none of it was going to come back because the body no longer had toxicity. The toxicity was gone, right? Of course, if in the future she decides to go back to eating all the wrong foods, I can't help that. If you can't do that, she won't do that. That's her problem. She'll get it back if she does that. But I think she's learned a lesson. she will then from now on, because of the quality of the advice she got such good result. As long as she keeps her body free of toxicity, there's no way known a psoriasis will come back. No way known, because that was the cause of it all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic session. And
good.
You know, I'll definitely be in contact, and I'm sure you'll get a lot more calls as well, not just from myself and Leon. And we are looking forward to you.
I did that without moving my lips.
Yeah, and I can give you, Francine. I'll tell you what I'm going to answer you. Add to my answer. I've read the Bible, King James Bible, quite a lot, and there's a scripture in there which took my breath away. It said two scriptures. One, it says, "Without vision, a nation perishes." Without vision. Now, same with a patient. Without vision, that patient will perish. Right? The second scripture is very powerful, because I'm a very caring person, but I used to worry too much about what people would think of me. Right? So guess what I found? When that scripture, I read that, I went, wow. Guess what it says? Give the good message. Remember, this was written 2,000 years ago. Give the good message to the village. Give the good message to the village. If they don't listen, shake the dust off your sandals and walk away. Right? Now, you can help patients as much as you can. If they don't want your message, you don't want to listen to it, don't worry about it. Just walk away, because you've done your job. You see that? Some people, a small percentage, will go back to their bad ways. They will. But guess what? That's their lack of vision, not ours. That's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, those two ticks. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get in the garden.
Yeah, they make you think.
They make you think, don't they?
Oh, yeah. So later on, we'll
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Been great helping you.
Remember to get in touch with us if you need more help.
Yes. Okay. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Lovely having you and seeing you.
All the best to the fathers.
Oh yes. Happy Father's Day.
Okay. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care. I'm going to go with you.